beautiful people. And welcome, welcome, welcome to our free session. This is our intro session leading up to 6 weeks of self publishing. We're going to talk about why your book is your breakthrough. And as always, when I start my sessions, I want to know where my future authors are. Where are my future authors? If you are ready to write a book, if there is a book, there's a hero. That's Mariah Carey said. If there's a book somewhere deep inside you, put book in the comments. If there's a book deep inside you, write book in the comments. When you look inside your heart, there's a hero. There's a book deep inside you. Shay said there's a book inside her. 36 Notary says there's a book inside her. Brianna Lee says there's a book. Vanessa says there's a book. Linda D. Chase Foundation say what? There's a book. All right, y'all. So we're gonna talk about why your book is your breakthrough. If you don't know who I am, I'm your girl coach Misty. I am a motivator, innovator, and a drug I'm just joking about the last part. I am an author. I am a spiritual coach and an overall bad bitch. You can just sum that up. Overall bad bitch, right? I have written and published 10 books now, including workbooks, journals, and also novels, right? And I am here to teach you how to publish your own book, self publish in 6 weeks. All right. Again, my initial book, I made a $300 investment with the cover art and the editing, and I've made over 10 times that amount. And guess what? I haven't even really talked about the book. I haven't even marketed the book correct. I don't even do that. Not with the first one. I made it because I wanted to do it. I wanted to see if I can do it. And now I create books for everything. So I'm gonna teach you how to create it. Whatever kind of book you're trying to create. I also have free templates for you. If you join my program, I'm gonna give you guys some templates. I I even have some plug and play books. We'll talk about that later. I have some plug and play templates for you. All right. So listen, whether this is a passion for you or you want passive income, I got you. Let's get it. Let's go. So welcome in. If you are hearing my voice right now, you are here for a reason. Listen, if you are hearing my voice right now, you are here for a reason. Today, I'm talking to the ones who know deep down you are supposed to write. If you ain't supposed to write, go ahead and leave this live. I'll be back later on and we can have fun later on. If you're not supposed to write, leave the live. I'm not worried about the numbers today. I'm not worried about how many people I got in here. I'm not saying, oh, y'all, now y'all all go tap, tap, tap. Go ahead and show me some love. Go ahead and like the live. But I want you to know I'm not worried about that today. Today, I'm only talking to the people who are supposed to write. If you are hearing my voice right now, you are supposed to publish. Huh? You are supposed to help somebody with the story you've been surviving. Okay? Hello? You are to help somebody with the story you've been surviving. Now, again, I'm Coach Misty, and today only, I'm going to enroll. We have 17 spots left. We have 17 spots left in our, listen, 17 spots left in our boot camp, in our 6 weeks of self-published boot camp, which starts on Monday. Yes, the classes will be recorded. Yes, I'm going to do live Q&A. Yes, I'm going to coach y'all. Yes, 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 and yes to all of the above. We have 17 spots available. All right. And listen, if you wanted a 17, put 17 in the comments. If you wanted a 17, like, hey, coach, I get paid on Friday, whatever it is, put 17 in the comments. I am only offering this class live right now. This class, I will not offer this again next year. Stop putting out stuff. Oh, I'm gonna wait until next time she offer it. The class not coming back around next month. I'm doing this one time only. Hell, I got my own books I got to put out. Right. So we doing it right now, right here, right now. So if you know, like, hey, I'm gonna be one of those last 17 spots left, put 17. All right. All right. So let's talk about it. Now, let me say this and say that. You ready? Your survival was on purpose. A lot of y'all need to tell your own stories. Understand this. Whatever you went through, your survival was on purpose, right? So you think you went through something that was random. No, whatever you went through wasn't random. Domestic violence wasn't random. Almost dying during childbirth wasn't random. Listen, getting out of that. Listen, leaving that job behind wasn't random. You understand me? Surviving that car wreck wasn't random, huh? Experiencing those supernatural experiences wasn't random. Dating that dude that was an asshole wasn't random, baby. It was redemption. Understand that your pain created wisdom. Your mistakes became lessons. Your survival story is someone else's blueprint. Now, there is somebody out here right now going through what you went through, and they're praying for the wisdom you already survived. So the question is, if you don't write it, who will? Hmm? I want you to drop a yes in the comments if you know you have a book inside of you. Drop yes in the comments. If you know deep down within a shadow of a doubt you have a book inside of you, put yes in the comments. Okay? Come on, Shay. I see y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I see a lot of yeses. All right, listen, them 17 spots gonna be gone before you know it. Now, here's the thing, deal. You may think that you are just writing a book, but what you're really doing is leaving a legacy. Even with my little books I write, even with the books, these are two of my books. Where is my other book? My money, even with my money Bible, right? We mailing those out. Even with my books, these are not just books, these are a legacy. Now, do I want my granddaughter to grow up and read these books? Hell no. Not until she's 21, right? But this is a legacy. Somewhere, listen, my great grandkids can go online and they can go somewhere and say, my grandmother wrote this book. My grandmother, Coach Misty D. Scott, wrote this book. Huh? How many of you all can say, my mom wrote a book? My grandmother wrote a book. My such and such wrote a book. A lot of us can't say that. But here's the deal, just because you can't say it just because you can't say it doesn't mean that your children won't be able to say that your grandchildren won't be able to say that. And it all begins with you because guess what? This is not a book, it's a legacy. Your children's children could one day pick up your book and learn from it. And I have other books. I have my money Bible, and I'm coming out with a 2026 money Bible. Trust and believe that. Huh? My money Bible, my children's children will be able to learn from what I put down today. People you'll never meet can be healed by something you wrote on your couch at 2 a.m. in the morning. People that I've never met before read the story of 2 for 20 in this book, and they hear the story behind. Yes, I went on a bad date. It was horrible. Yes, the man's baby mama called me while we was on a date. Yes, it was a lot of drama, but the conversation that I had with that woman, the time I took out to talk to that woman, the 3 hours I spent with that woman on the phone was life changing. Not only was it life changing for her, it was life changing for me. And when people read my book, it becomes life changing for them because they either were me, they either was the person on the date dealing with somebody baby daddy and didn't know it was somebody baby daddy, or they're the woman on the other end of the phone calling because they just want their husband to come home. Come on, somebody. Life changing, right? I want you to know this. A book is a permanent mark on the world that says, I lived, I learned, and I helped. Huh? How many people want to say that? Y'all, we got a flash go. All right. I lived, I learned, and I helped. Right? Here's the deal. You all may have heard about the boot camp right now, and that's fine, right? But understand this, I've been helping other people write their books. I've been helping other people write their stories, right? And now one of my students has published her story and is now being booked to speak at women's retreats, right? And all she did was start. All she did was make the decision. And I said this before and I say it again. There's no time like the present to start. There is no there. The sun is not going to shine on you tomorrow, and the clouds are going to spell out a message to say it's time to write a book. That's not going to happen. God is not going to come down off his throne. God is not going to stop being God to come to you and say, it's time to do your book now. You have to make a decision to start. All right. One of the things is holding us back is fear, but we're gonna talk about how fear and faith. Listen, again, we got 17 spots. A lot of y'all said that y'all was gonna be in them 17 spots. So I'm hopefully we got less than that. Hopefully we go ahead and get this boot camp together so I can start sending y'all materials to get you ready for Monday. All right. If you need help on how to sign up for the boot camp, go to imcoachmissy.com, and it's going to be a link that says write your book within 6 weeks. Go ahead and click that link and sign up. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear says, who do you think you are? And sometimes it ain't fear. Sometimes it's your mama. Sometimes it's your husband. Sometimes it's your brother. Fear says, who do you think you are? A lot of times it's us, right? Faith says, who do you think you're not? This is more than a book. This is more than a book. I'm going to say it again. Fear says, who do you think you are? Faith says, who do you think you're not? Huh? Listen, I promise you, I guarantee you, if you share your dreams or write in the book with a person who can barely read, they're not going to get it. If you share your dreams or write in the book with the person who also wanted to write a book that was scared, they're not going to get it. And that's when fear is going to come in, right? Fear will rob you of your purpose. Fear will talk you out of blessing people. You understand me? But when you move in faith and you publish that book, doors will open that fear was trying to block. Take a sip. So I need to repeat that again. Hmm? Do I need to repeat that again? I'm going to take it from the top. Fear will rob you of your purpose. Fear will rob you of your purpose. This ain't even got nothing to do. We ain't talking about the book no more. I'm just talking about life. Fear will rob you of your purpose. I told people that I wanted to make money being exactly who I was. I love to motivate people and talk to them crazy at the same time. People laughed at me. I told people not only did I want my fitness boot camp, I wanted a tax service. I also wanted to have an entertainment company. I'm going to go ahead and share my spiritual gifts with folks and I'm going to make oils. And people laughed at me. Fear will rob you of your purpose. Listen, with fear will talk you out of blessing people, but when you move in faith, if it's publishing this book, when you move in faith, starting that business, when you move in faith, leaving that job, when you move in faith, leaving that relationships, doors will open that fear was trying to block. Yesterday, TikTok reminded me of a very important date. Yesterday was April the 23rd. They like, girl, we know we was all there. April the 23rd, 2021 is the day that I went viral on TikTok. April 23rd, 2021 was the day that I walked away from my six-figure insurance job. April 23rd, 2021 was the day that I had my freedom. Huh? I didn't have it all together. At the time, I was making less than $1,000 a month from my fitness boot camp, but I walked in faith. No, I didn't have a business that was making $10,000 a month. I was making $10,000 a month selling insurance. My business was making barely $1,000 a month, but I walked in faith. You hear me? I walked in faith. Right? So listen, writing your book is an act of faith. And guess what? God honors faith in action. Huh? Remember, y'all know I don't be on here long. I don't be on here long. I'm going to say this. God, listen, what happens? God honors faith in action. So the thing is, if you've been waiting for a green light to start your book, understand that this is it. You're not here by chance. This is it. I'm going to walk you step by step for 6 weeks, templates, trainings, real time support, right? Because guess what? Your story is your breakthrough in someone else's too. Your story on becoming an author is part of my story of being a business owner. It's part of my story of walking in faith. It's part of my story of giving back. You understand me? Let me tell you something. I am birthing a nation of authors. I am birthing a nation of people who are free. You understand me? So understand this is not this just ain't about you. It's about me too. Because see, I can keep all this knowledge to myself. I can keep all this knowledge to myself and just continue writing books and selling it to you. But I say, listen, I'm gonna teach you what I know. I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna have you go through all the ups and downs that I did when it came to publishing my first book. I'm not gonna have you sitting up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out Amazon KDP. I ain't gonna have you up on Fiverr looking for vendors, looking for people to do the artwork for your book, and then they don't deliver or it ain't what you want. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna give you what I got. Listen, because your story is your breakthrough. Listen, and it's mine too. So again, y'all know I don't be on here all day about it. That's all I got for you today. If you ready, type you ready in the comments. If you ready, type you ready. Again, I'm only doing this boot camp this one time. I haven't even decided if I'm gonna do it again next year. I don't know. We gonna do it right now. God led me to offer the boot camp. I'm going to do offer the boot camp. If you are ready, you gonna click the link in my bio. God told me to do the boot camp. I'm doing the boot camp. I'm gonna give you everything I got. Cause now your story is my story. Huh? And when we finish this boot camp and you publish it, it's gonna be our story. All right, I'm gonna show you how to get on and then I'm gonna get off because I just got, baby, listen, that moved my spirit. That moved my spirit. I motivated my damn self. All right, so listen, real quick. When you go to iamcoachmisty.com, when you go to iamcoachmisty.com, this is what it looks like. It looks like my little, that's my link tree photo, baby. That hair was cute that day. When you go to iamcoachmisty.com, you're going to go to the third link, which is write your book in 6 weeks. Go ahead and sign up on that link. Go to the third link, which is write your book in 6 weeks. Again, I only have 31 spots available. That's what I can handle because I am going to be working with you. I'm going to be answering questions. And I understand that everybody not writing the same type of book. If you want to do journals, I can show you how to do journals. If you want to go ahead, even if you just want to say, hey, I just want to produce journals. I want to do what they call low content books. Well, guess what, baby? You're not just gonna have one journal by the time we get finished with it. Baby, you're gonna have a hundred journals. Huh? I'm gonna show you how to whip out them journals so quick, huh? And list them on Amazon KDP and how to market them things. That listen, and you can also listen. Not only are we marketing it on Amazon, I'm also going to show you how to market your book on other platforms. I'm going to show you, and listen, with self-publishing, you keep the rights to your own work. Huh? I'm gonna show you how to copyright your book. I'm gonna show you, listen, this is how you draw people in. For instance, listen, and if you want to write a story, whether it's your story or somebody else's, I want you to open up your book. Y'all, real quick. I gotta give y'all. Where's that 2 for 20? That story I was talking about. Because baby, that story, okay, that start on page 165. Baby, this 2 for 20 story is crazy. This 2 for 20 story. Y'all, can we do a little story time real quick? Is that all right with you? Can we do a little story time? Yes, no, maybe so. Let me know. Can we do a little story time? Huh? I'm not gonna start at the beginning. I'm gonna give y'all a little. Okay. So this is the story, the 2 for 20. Okay. So here's the deal. So I'm gonna just give y'all a little background because I'm gonna skip over a couple of the paragraphs. There's a guy that invited me on a date, and I told him he wanted to come to my house, but God told me no, meet him out. I didn't tell the man what area I lived in, but I ended up meeting him in an Applebee's in the area I lived in. So y'all, this is when I was still had kids in my house. So this had to be around 2015 when this story happened. So this is me meeting him at Applebee's. All right, like to hear it, here it go. Now, so I wasn't hungry since I had a light dinner at my Mary Kay meeting, but I'm always down for a drink and dessert. Sean wanted to order for me, which was admirable. I could tell that Sean was a take charge type of man, but I wasn't sure if he had the basics like home, car, job. Wasn't sure if he had that down packed. According to Sean, he was a father of 3 children, ages 13 through 5. He had just made it with that 5-year-old because my rule of thumb is that your youngest child has to be in school. Sean said that he had a decent co-parenting relationship with the mother of his children, which is also important to me before I decide to date someone. Sean and I talked and laughed for about an hour. We were on our second round of drinks when he reached under the table and guided my foot in between his legs. He placed my foot directly on his you know what, which I determined was a nice size by the bottom of my foot. I was scared that people in the bar would see what we were doing, but Sean reassured me that no one was paying attention to us, and I believed him. Sean rubbed my feet against his you know what and used his index fingers to rub in between my toes. This man had to have a real foot fetish because I know my feet smell like feet. Baby, I had been on these dogs all day at work and then at the training. The whole time he was playing with my feet, all I could think about and hope was that he washed his hands before we left. Sean motioned to our server that we needed another round of drinks, and as the server was approaching our booth, my phone rang. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Sean looks at me. He says, "Don't answer that. Focus on me." I said, "Sean, this could be some money on the line. I've passed out my cards everywhere in attempts to book my first Mary Kay party. So excuse me, love, while I answer." Zzz, zzz, zzz. Sean then looked at me in a serious tone. He said, "Misty, please don't answer that." I looked at him, slowly picking up the phone. I said, "Hello?" I hear a female's voice. She says, "Hi, is this Alexis?" I said, "No." She says, "I apologize. I must have the wrong number." I said, "No problem." As I placed my phone on the table, the look on Sean's face had changed. His beautiful smile had turned into a look of worry. I was confused as to what had happened, what had killed the vibe. I looked at him. I said, "Sean, what's wrong?" He said, "Oh, nothing, baby. I just don't want anyone ruining our night. I haven't answered my phone one time, so maybe you can put your phone on silent so we can enjoy our date." I looked at Sean. I said, well, I appreciate you giving me your undivided attention, but I can't put my phone on silent when I have kids at home. Sean said, I understand about the kids, baby. Excuse me. I would never ask you to ignore your kids. I just want to enjoy our time without any interruption. My phone rings again. Zzz, zzz, zzz. This time the number is private. I answer the phone in the middle of Sean's sentence. I say, hello. The female voice again says, yes. May I speak to Misty? I said, this is Misty. Who am I speaking with? The female says, my name is Angie, and I'm calling you about Sean. I said, who? She said, Sean, my fiance. I'm sure you're on a date with him now. He has on white t-shirt, blue jean shorts, and white Air Max 90s. I said, I'm out with a friend and I don't know Sean, while looking Sean dead in his face. Angie says, well, I apologize. I found your number in his Google contact list, and it appears that this was the last number he called before he stopped answering my phone calls. I tell Angie, I'm sorry, but I don't know of any Sean. Not sure why he would have my number. This is a new number for me, and I get a lot of random calls. I hope you find what you're looking for. Angie says to me, sorry to bother you, and I hope you enjoy your date. I said, thank you. She says, good night. No sooner than I had ended the call, I snatched my foot from between Sean's legs. Sean, whose normal complexion was in milk chocolate, was now an off-white. You would have thought that Sean had seen a ghost. Sean said, Misty, baby, please listen to me. She is crazy. I don't know how she got your number, but I will put an end to that. I don't want anything ruining our relationship. I said, relationship? Sir, I just met you. And by the looks of this will be our first and last date. I told you on the phone that I don't participate in drama, and look at you bringing drama with you like a third wheel. The only reason I didn't tell her the truth is because I don't have time to go back and forth with her or you tonight. Thank you for the drinks and dessert, but I'm out. Sean said, well, wait, hold on. Let me call my mama so she can explain to you that Angie is crazy. I just met you and I don't want to lose you. Just sit tight. I looked at him. I said, you can't be for real, sir. I don't want to talk to you or your mama. I'm gone. Sean picks up the phone. Mama, please, can you please tell my friend about Angie's crazy tale? Now, I can't believe that this grown man has called his mama and tried to hand me the phone. I jumped up, threw my shoes on, grabbed my purse, and marched to the front door at Applebee's. Why does the craziest stuff always happen to me? I can't catch a break with dating, right? By the time I made it outside the Applebee's, Sean was right behind me on the phone with his mama. And at some point, I believe Angie called because Sean became enraged. That was my cue to leave. Luckily, Sean didn't know what type of car I was in, so I could leave in peace. See, this is why I followed my first instinct about meeting him out and not giving him my address. I started my car and backed out of my parking spot. I had my best friend on speakerphone so I could give her a good laugh about my date from hell. But before I could take my car to reverse, I see Sean walking towards me, and he walks right past my car and hops in the black truck I parked next to. How ironic was that? I had parked next to him the whole time. As I pressed the brake to shift gears, I heard a man's voice yelling for me to stop. It was a police officer. Now I'm gonna stop right there because this book is on sale on my website. I'm gonna stop right there. Question: how many of y'all want to know what happened next? It's on thisiscme.com. You can go to thisiscme.com, Shay. Hmm? They talking about me. I want to know what happened next. I'm her. It's me. Go to thisiscme.com. There's a 50% off code. You say, oh my God, it was getting good. Hold on. Listen. This, hold on. Kai, can you put the 50% off code for thisiscme.com? She talking about, did he call the popo? See, this is what I'm saying. I'm gonna teach you how to do this. I'm gonna teach you how to write something. And they be like, what? What? What's going on? Thank you, Ash Cash. Y'all, if you go to thisiscme.com, the discount code right there. Go to thisiscme.com and use that discount code to save 50%. You can get both of my books. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for some more? Y'all want a little bit more? I'm gonna tell you how to get started. That's what I'm here to do. I'm gonna tell you how to get started with writing a book. I wrote my own books. I self-published. I've written over 10 books now. Y'all ready? I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more because I know y'all wanna know what happened with that police officer. Shit. Hold on. I'm gonna give it to y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more. Then I'm gonna get off this phone. Because we going live and I gotta send out an email. All right. The officer says, ma'am, please put your car in park. I said, sir, what's the problem? The server comes out. She said, y'all ran out on a bill. I said, he didn't pay the bill? The server said, no, he walked out shortly after you did. I said, wait, hold on. That's his truck, pointing to the black pickup that I was blocking in. The officer walking over to Sean's driver's side window said, sir, can you turn off the engine and step out the truck? Sean said, officer, how can I help you? The officer said, seems like you forgot to pay the bill. Sean said, oh, no, sir, I apologize. I had a family emergency and I totally forgot. I can pay it now. Attempting to hand the officer cash. The officer said, sir, I can't take your money. Please follow the server back inside and she will take the cash. Now, by this time, everybody and their mama in Applebee's is looking out the window. I was so embarrassed. Plus, this is my local Applebee's where I take my kids at least twice a month. Guess we'll have to find a new Applebee's to hang out at. I watched Sean walk back into the restaurant with the server and officer, and I pulled off. Can you believe this? First, he shows up in jean shorts as a grown ass man. Then his baby mama calls me in the middle of the foot rub, and he skips out on the bill. This is exactly why I can't date Dallas dudes. I'm so happy that I stocked up on my sex toys and batteries because I'm going to be alone for a while. As I was telling my best friend about the entire situation, I received another call, this time from Sean. I answered the phone. I said, really? Sean said, baby, where did you go? I'm driving all around looking for you. Where are you at? I said, Sean, I'm good. I'm at home and I'm not interested in resuming any type of communication with you. Apparently, you are not single and I am not interested. Sean said, no, 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 come on now. Please send me your location. We need to talk this out. I really want to be with you. You are the type of woman I need. I need you in my life. I said, Sean, it sounds like you need a place to live. Get off my phone and don't call back. Baby, I've been telling people to get off my phone for a long goddamn time. Get off my phone and don't call back. Sean says, Miss, I hang up. Not only do I hang up, I block his ass. By the time I was back in my condo, sitting in the car outside my door, I was gathering my things to go in, and the phone rang again, a private number. I know damn well he not calling me back. I answered the phone, and I said, hello. I hear a voice, a familiar voice. She says, I'm sorry to call you back, but I wanted to talk to you. I have a feeling that you were out with Sean and you didn't want to tell me. His mother called me shortly after I called you, trying to smooth things over and lie for him so I wouldn't put him out. She doesn't want to be bothered with him and will do anything to keep him over here with me and the kids. I said, look, Angie, you are correct. I was out with Sean, but I'm not a fan of drama, and I politely left after your phone call. Angie said, well, I hope Sean didn't leave you with the bill. He didn't have money to buy our youngest child Pampers today, so I'm not sure how he would pay for a date. I said, Angie, it was a close call, but he paid. I said, now, did you say your youngest child is in Pampers? Because Sean said his youngest is 5 years old. Angie started laughing. She said, we have a 5 year old. We do, along with 7 other kids. I'm sure that he told you that he only had 3 kids. That seems to be the running lie this month. Our youngest child is 3 months and our oldest is 12. I said, did you say 7 kids? Damn. She said, I'm also sure that he told you that he worked at a warehouse overnight as a forklift driver. All lies. He's unemployed. I'm the only person in the house working. He stays at home with the kids during the day and runs out the house as soon as I get home to go sit up with his no good uncle until all hours of the night. If he paid for your dinner, I'm sure his uncle loaned him the money. Crazy how he can buy you dinner before he takes care of his kids. I said, Angie, can I ask you a question? And if this is too much of your business, please let me know. She said, sure. I said, if Sean is so bad, why are you trying to hold on to him? Right? If I were you, I would be happy for another woman to take him off my hands. Sounds like you have 8 kids instead of 7. Angie said, truth is, I need a babysitter for my kids. We are barely getting by with only one income. Sean can't keep a job for whatever reason, so I told him to stay home with the kids while I pick up all the hours that I can. I'm saving money to move away from Sean, but most paychecks are just enough to keep my head above water. He wasn't like this when we first met. I know I promise you, I was blindsided. 15 years ago, I was a single, successful, up and coming hairstylist in Houston. I didn't have any kids. I had good credit and traveled often. And then came Sean. This phone call right here, y'all, it was different from the standard phone calls I had received from someone's girlfriend. Angie wasn't questioning me about Sean. She wanted to vent. She wanted to tell her story, and I was here to listen. Now, I'm not going to continue reading. I'm going to leave it at that. If you want to purchase the book, go to thisiscme.com. If you go to the book that's listed, you can click on if you click on, there's options. You see book one, you can click on it. It's book two, and you can go ahead and get it. So, the rest of the story, Angie tells me her story, and I tell it to you all. Let me tell you something. Every time I read this story out loud, this story right here, I have women who are in tears. I have women who are in tears because they see themselves as Angie, right? They listen and they hear her story. Listen, they hear her story. She just wanted to vent. She wasn't warning me. She wanted somebody to talk to. Make a long story short, you can buy the book and read it yourself. And all my books come autographed. Make a long story short, I talked to Angie for 3 hours. At the end of that conversation, Angie had became a friend. I was no longer someone that threatened her relationship. I was an ally of Angie. I asked Angie if she needed help. Here I was, a single mother of 4 kids, a divorced mother of 4 kids myself. And I was willing to help Angie out because I wanted to see Angie make it. Now, did I tell Angie if she ever needed help to call me? Did I mean it? Absolutely. Did I ever hear back from Angie? Absolutely not. However, her story is a story that resonates with a lot of people. Her story is relatable. A lot of us have a little Angie in us, right? And a lot of us have met a lot of Shines, right? And that's what my story 2 for 20 is about. Now, I want you to be able to tell a story. Yo, you don't have to tell a story like I tell a story, but I want you to be able to tell your story. To know, listen, not only are you going to captivate people, you're going to educate them, entertain them, huh? And evolve, teach them something. So, with that being said, if you would like to be one of the people, one of the 17 spots left in my boot camp, go to uh, IamCoachMissy.com and go ahead and sign up for the boot camp. You can also sign up for the boot camp on thisiscme.com and use the 50% off code Nifty50. You can do that as well. Listen, make sure you are signed up for my emails on thisiscme.com because in about 30 minutes, I'm going to send out an email with the 50% off sale, and we're going to do a flash sale of some of these products that I'm about to discontinue, things that the BBL oil and some other stuff, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of it and discontinue it. Oh, friend, y'all stop saying the jack of all trades. Stop saying that shit. I love it though, but thank you. I hate when people are like, you a jack of all trades. Stop. Because you know what they say, a jack of all trades and a master of none. No, I do what I want to do. I live with no regrets. When I decided I want to write a book, I wrote it. And I kept writing them because my story had to be told. Huh? I'm a person that has no regrets about anything. All right. All right. Listen, if you have a question about the boot camp or have a question about any of my other services and you're watching me on TikTok, go ahead and send me a message right there. If you are watching me on YouTube or you're watching me on Facebook, please, 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 you can go to IamCoachMissy.com and fill out a contact form. Send me a message on there so we can go ahead and answer your questions. And I'm talking about questions about my services or my boot camps, not spiritual questions. Listen, go ahead and share this live with somebody. It just might change their life. I will see you guys later. What? For Thanksgiving.